So there's this, I love saying this quote. There's this quote, I think it's from Estonian. The quote goes something like this. It's a very short quote. It says, "The work will teach you how to do it." That's it. That's the quote. The work will teach you how to do it. There are some things that have courses, like how do you program in C++, or how do you do distributed systems, which is a course I teach. And for other things, most things in life, there is no course. You just have to do it, and that's how you learn. How do you do research? There is no course. I could start a course, but the course would be woefully inadequate and it wouldn't be useful at all. So research is one of those things that once you do it, it teaches you how to do it. Part of that is also, as you're doing it, you realize what is unique about your style of doing research. Not just, the problems that you pick or whatever, but also like your actual workflow for doing research. Like, do you just like to go off and think for 2 weeks about an idea and come back and then bam, implement it? Or do you like to think by bouncing ideas off of others? Very different styles, right? The first style works for some people, second style works for other people, right? So part of that goal is also figuring out what really works for you, right? So that's part of also, the work teaching you how to do it as well. The same thing is true in the entrepreneurial world as well, right? Some people are great at just sitting down and building something, and it's like, okay, we have something here, right? Others, need to bounce ideas off of each other, and it's a teamwork, and so you have to figure out what is it that works for you. And it's not just this team versus individual. There are a lot of other subtle things about work lifestyles and being productive that you're not going to discover by just sitting and staring at a wall or sitting and staring at the ceiling, right? So that's part of also the work teaching you how to do it. And I think that's true of all work, whether it's research, whether it's entrepreneurial work, whether it's even working in a company, right? You go to a big company and you start, you're like, now what do I do? Literally, okay, do the following things to get oriented, and take the following code labs to get certified in the following languages, and then like, okay, then what, right? And as human beings, when we are children, how do we learn how to speak, or how do we learn how to walk? We imitate others, right? We imitate our parents, we imitate whoever is our guardian. The same thing is also true when you start in a company, also is true when you start in a research environment. You try to imitate like whoever seems to be the most productive around you. But that's not all we should be doing, right? At some point of time, you have to say, okay, I walk a slightly different way from my parent or my guardian. I talk a slightly different way from my parent or my guardian. And it's okay, because it's unique, right? And others also appreciate you for it. Just like, your parent or your guardian appreciates the way you talk, they find it cute. Appreciates the way you walk. They don't say, oh, why are you messing up certain words, you 2-year-old baby? No one says that, right? So I think that's also part of growing up, and just realizing that one of the things that every human appreciates is also being in a safe environment where there is room for you to grow, and there is not like a lot of requirements for you, like nonstop, that you cannot grow.